tomorrow will be a very interesting day for EURUSD traders and gold traders. So let's take a look at the charts and let's also talk a bit about the consumer price index. That will be inflation. That is out tomorrow. You're looking here at a potential outcome of 8.1. So annual inflation increasing by 8.1%, which would be lower than the 8.3 experienced in the previous month. You can just look here, you can actually see that inflation looks to peaking here in the US, peak potentially around 9% here in July. Now, as for the market, what they want to see inflation be lower than 8.1, because that would allow the Fed to be less aggressive with the rate hikes. But remember, inflation is extremely high. It's at 8.1, far away from the typical sort of 2% that we usually see. So there's a strong reason to assume that the Fed will continue to be hawkish. But assume that inflation is less than 8.1. That can cause the euro to push higher and potentially revisit the upper end of this channel. You might remember that I said just a couple of days ago that people could potentially be selling up here for this to trade lower. That indeed worked out. The channel did help. So if we go up here again and we push towards 98.83, then I suspect people will short sell and they will probably remain bearish as long as trade below 99.99. Now, on the other hand, if inflation is really strong, then we can see the price drop towards 94.50. And I think that would be a good level to book profits. There's also other levels around 93.01. As for gold prices, the channel worked really well last week and projected that we could trade lower from these levels. We're now at a level where it does make a lot of sense to book profits just ahead of such an important event. Now, in the long run, I do think the Fed will continue to be more hawkish than many of the other central banks. I do think gold will continue to trade lower. So if one is a long-term trader, one could keep this position open. And I think what some of these people might do, if inflation is really strong, is that they might start to book profits at 16.38, followed by 15.93. Now, imagine that inflation is at 8.1 as expected, or maybe 8, then yeah, we could have a bit of a push to the upside. But as long as we trade below 17.33, which is roughly this high here from September 12th, then I think we could drift lower in the days and weeks ahead. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow, and how are you preparing yourself? Leave your comments below.